What is going on here? Okay. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you're doing well. Hello, hello, hello. OMG. Good to see y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Hello, ladies. Come on in. Let's spill it. Let's spill some of this tea, honey. I want to know what the hell's really going on up in your dating lives because I'm nosy. Because I want to know. Because I'm living vicariously through all of you as you're dating. Yeah? So spill it. Let me know who you're talking to. And are they fine or not? Good, 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 good. Hello, everyone. Good to see you. Hello, Fatima. Hello, PR by Nikita. Love that. Oh, sorry, Natika. Girl, dyslexia galore over here. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Anwar White. They call me Coach Anwar. And I am here to help you get unstuck in your love life. So if you have any questions about love, dating, relationships, men, women, all of that, definitely put it in the comments and I will answer them in the order that I see them. Yeah? Good. I was just chatting with my mom and we were kikiing and I was like, Mom, I gotta go live. I want to see what the girls are doing. Anyway, so put your hello, MRGH. She said, Hi, Coach. Hi. Good to see y'all. Let me see what y'all are talking about over here. Hello, Limeni. Hello, Share Giggles. Good to see you all. Miss Sunshine said, What do you think about online dating? Any tips? I like it. I think it gives us the training that's involved. Like online dating, you have hundreds, thousands of guys at your fingertips. To actually interact with potentially thousands of guys would take you weeks, if not months, offline. So I love online dating for that. One of the things that I teach in my program is like how to use that experience to the best of your ability. Yeah. Jana Fool said, I just moved to SF and decided that I want to go on a date with someone different every weekend. Is that too much? No, not necessarily, but I also don't want you to put pressure on yourself. Yeah? One of the things that I know for sure is we can put ourselves out there, but when we try to do too much and try to make it happen, it actually works against us. Okay? So I want you to just consider that as you're navigating your love life. Let me see what y'all are talking about. Hello, user 576. Adele's cold sore, crazy ass name, girl, said, Hello, Anwar, could I reschedule with you? Girl, what's your name? You have to let me know your make it happen. Jay said, Hey, Anwar. Hey, girl. Tiffany and Jeanette said, Hey, girl. Ada said, Hi, Anwar. Not easy to find a man in his masculine energy. Ain't that the damn truth? Sally Ross said, Any dating advice for neurospicy women? Yes. I actually think it's important, like when you're on like a first date, to let them know, depending on how your spiciness actually like manifests itself. For many of my clients who are spicy in that way, neurospicy, I always tell them, like, let them know that your brain works differently and sometimes you'll go on to another subject. It's not because you haven't heard what they have to say, but your mind goes a mile a minute. So it's important for you to share that with them, because if not, people are going to feel like you don't give a shit about what they have to say, and that's going to turn them the hell off, and I don't want that for you ultimately. Yeah. Before I move on, I just want to introduce myself because there might be some newbies up in here. My name is Coach Anwar. I help Black and brown women get into the best relationship of their lives. Last week we had 3 women get into great relationships. This week we already have an additional 3 women that have gotten into a relationship. 2 in Atlanta, 1 in DC. Because I know many of you are like, oh, those are hard cities to date in. Not if you have the right tools and skills and strategies involved with getting your guy. So definitely check the link in my bio. I have a variety of different resources for you to learn more about what I do and my results. There's a podcast that I have called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast, so definitely check that out when you get a chance. Tomorrow, I think I have a new episode coming out. It's called How to Safely Date a White Man, because I'm a mess, and y'all know that if you're in my live. But I also have a link for any free training, so check that out. And I also have a link to sign up for my Get Your Guy tours. I also have a link for to apply to book a consultation with me if you are looking to work with a dating coach right now. If not, check out my podcast or continue coming to the lives. Yeah? Gold member said, Anwar, I love your spirit. It always brings me joy. Thank you. Kiana said, hey, Anwar. Hey, girl. I said, how to get my ex to start chasing me again. We don't want that, girl. And the fact that you want that lets me know that you're in love scarcity mindset. Girl, don't focus on this guy. Your future husband will never be an ex. Replace him with 3 other guys and live your effing life, girl. User 273 said, what's the best place in Toronto to meet white men? On Bumble. Or literally just go outside, girl. They're everywhere. We can't get rid of them. Adele's cold source. Hey, I checked his phone and saw pictures of other guys. Girl, no. He's not even playing for a different team, girl. He's playing in a different league. He's playing my league, girl. Out. He's out. He needs to come out. Cut it. Tiffany and Jeanette said, Mama Anwar. Not Mama. I am a suburban mother of 3, so I guess I'll take that. Mirina said, what do you think about coworkers that get you in trouble to make their image better? Girl, that's not my lane. My lane is getting y'all into great relationships and helping you level up in your love lives. So I'm gonna keep it moving. One said, I love your voice, so calming. Thank you. Sean said he called me a cheap date because the bill wasn't as high as he thought. What does that mean? He probably was joking, but that doesn't feel like a fun joke for me. So I would actually just let him know, that didn't feel good. You get to set boundaries right then and right there. It's so funny. Tonight I had one of my, at a group coaching session with my clients. There was about 40 women that came into the session tonight, and we were talking all about boundaries. Boundaries are really hard, especially for Black women, because as Black people, we don't really grow up with boundaries, and so we actually have to learn how to set them and be confident in setting them. And so that's what this session was all about tonight. This is the kind of work that we do in my program, because if you can't boundary well, you won't date well, and if you can't date well, you won't get into great relationships. Yeah? So, Sasha NYC, I see you're on time, girl. You on your Zoom. She said, oh, hi. Hey, girl. Madame Miyagi said, oh, hello there. Hello. Tia said, hi, Anwar. Hey, girl. The happy lawyer said, love seeing you. Thank you, girl. I didn't know that there were any happy lawyers out there, so I'm happy to see you. Jim said, I struggle to know how to start the conversation, ask the right questions on the apps. Help. Girl, if you are doing that, it lets me know that you in performance mode. How do you start conversation with your friends and family? That's the sort of energy that you need to bring to these apps. Don't give those lame-ass questions like, hi, where are you from? How many siblings do you have? Girl, that shit is lame, and it's going to make dating really boring. Ask really crazy, funny questions that you would like to know the answer to, and give them shit about their profiles. Like, most of these men are, like, not smiling, so on their, like, in their pictures. So, like, girl, give them shit for it. Have fun. Talk your shit. Latrice said, hello, Anwar. I've been under the weather, but I am going to stay up for a few for my favorite coach. Thank you, girl, so much. And thank y'all so much for the 3,000 likes already here on TikTok. Y'all are not playing any games tonight, honey. No games. Sure Giggle said, I get a lot of hellos and smiles, winks, but men are lazy except for the Canadians. Well, girl, oh, Canada, my girl's gonna be there in a sec. Girl, get into that Canadian. That's what I had to do, honey. Now I live in Montreal with my French Canadian husband. Bonjour. Ça va? Just Yanis said, what's the best way to get a guy to feel more comfortable with opening up? Not your job to open a guy up. That's his job. And if he's not coming correct with it, then he's not ready to be in a relationship. You're not his counselor. You're not a therapist. Don't act like one. Yeah? And I say that with love, of course. Queen Kiani, tips on long-distance dating. I think it's important to have him come to you. Don't ever go to him first. And he's gonna need to come to you in the first 6 weeks. If he's not able to do that, okay, Janisha. Girl, I called you. Let me finish what I was saying. If he's not able to come to you in 6 weeks, you gotta move on. We cannot play pen pals here. Yeah. Beauty and the Bread said, hey, Anwar, how can you tell whether someone is saying what you want to hear versus being intentional? By their actions. Yeah. And not just for a couple of weeks. I was talking to a woman and she's saying, yeah, I've got exclusive with this guy after a month. No, girl, that's not enough time. The cracks really start to happen around weeks 6, 7, and 8. Because that's when guys are actually really serious and start to consider you in a serious way. So you will see in weeks 6, 7, and 8 if things fade away or not. Just Siobhan said, hello from Houston. Hello, girl. Good to see you. Adele's cold sore said Janisha. Okay, so Janisha, you can send me an email at anwar@getyourguycoaching.com. I have availability at 6:30 Eastern tomorrow. That works for you. I'll reschedule your session, your consultation. But girl, you got one more chance for the consultation and that's it. If people miss the consultation, I really don't give them another chance. Achilleax says, hi Anwar. Hey girl. Day. Hey girl. R2 said, mood control when your ups lift you down. I don't know what that means. Jamima said, talking to this guy via dating apps but not immediately attracted to them. Good conversation though. Should I give them a chance or friend zone? If he is a 5 out of 10 or above, give him a chance. Achilleax said, you've really ignited my interest and desire to date again. Can't wait to get out there and colonize. Do it, girl. Gotta catch 'em all, honey, like Pokemon. Get all these men. Amber Cohen said, do you believe that you had to be in your 100% feminine energy to find a good man? No. And here's the thing. This isn't about... I think there's a lot of... especially male dating coaches are like, you gotta be feminine, you gotta be feminine. That's not what I'm saying personally. What I'm saying is that oftentimes we have, we might be 70, 80% masculine and 20 or 30% feminine. And I know that 40 to 60% is a good place to be for both of your energies so that you can find a guy that is similar so that there's an actual match, right? So often when we're in our masculine, we only are attracting 2 kinds of guys. One that's in their hyper-masculine, aka toxic masculine, trying to force you down into your feminine, or a dominant feminine energetic man that you're going to end up mothering because he's going to regress into a teenage boy. Yeah, so what I'm saying is that you don't have to be 100% in your feminine energy. And so all of these feminine dating coaches or femininity coaches that are telling you to wear red and put on lipstick and do your hair a certain way, that shit doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. And actually, if you're hyper-focused on that, you will attract men that are hyper-focused on the physicality, which are kind of the lowest level of men. You don't want that. Or men that want you as a trophy wife and not as a legitimate, significant partner. Rewa said, good evening. Should the first date be a day date or evening? Day date for sure. I would say day date. If it's evening, it can be drinks, but nothing more than like I would say an hour or so. Adele's Cold Sore. Would you ever make an app? I'm trying to start next year. I've got to finish my book and the journal that I'm creating as well, and then I'm going for the app. Sasha said, thoughts on poor communicators. I don't have any thoughts. If they can't communicate to me or with me, I'm not going to waste my time on them, and I suggest you do the same. Yeah? Almost said, hey, Amor, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you. We're here, Tuesday tea. Let's get it. Let's spill some tea, honey. Teffy said, tips to start dating intentionally as someone with no serious and long-term dating experience. So many women talk about dating with intention, but most of y'all don't have a strategy to date, so it's going to be really hard for you to date with intention. Yes, everybody wants to be coupled, and most of us want to get married. That's not dating intentionally. Dating intentionally is having a plan and a strategy. It's one of the things that I help my clients do. If you feel like you need a dating strategy, you can definitely pick up one of my courses called Dating Strategy Starter Course. But one of the things that will be important is for you to actually come up with a strategy so that you are evaluating these men based on boyfriend skills instead of whether there's a vibe or not. Because here's the thing, most guys that are narcissists and toxic will be able to have vibes with everybody. And most women are conditioned to believe that if I have butterflies and if we such a great chemistry, that it's meant to be. Sorry, girl. That's not how it goes. We have to be really focused on those boyfriend skills. Sierra said, do you recommend as a woman to send messages and likes first on Hinge and Tinder? Well, first, I don't recommend being on Hinge or Tinder. They are, excuse my language, the worst. Yeah. Jay said, I hope you're coming to the DMV. I'm coming in early December, but I'm coming in early December to visit with my clients. Yeah, with my clients. Every month I kind of go and just see how they're doing. Yeah. Beauty and the Bird said, hey, Anwar, how can you tell if someone is... Oh, I already read that. Trisha Fun said, I'm just re-entering the dating world after 7 years. Yay! Good. Any advice? Girl, get on your Zoom. Get on your app, girl. Start there. I want us to crawl before we ball. So many people try to do the most because they feel like they have to compensate for the missed time. You don't need to do that. A little bit at a time. You're going to need to learn how to feel comfortable just interacting with men. So that's why I'm like, girl, just put the profile out there, let it sit for a couple of days. Have these guys message you because you're going to need that. You're going to need that boost. Sometimes when we step out of the dating game, we think no one's really checking for us. When there's always been tons of men that have been checking for you, you just maybe haven't had that confidence. So I want you to just wait a couple of days, let all those messages and all those likes pile up so that you can start with this utmost level of confidence. Yeah. Carlos said, do you only coach women? Do you coach gay men? I used to coach gay men. Now I just coach women of color, specifically Black women. Yeah. But if you have any questions, please ask them here and I will definitely be able to answer them. Let me see. Loyalty says, hey coach, could you adjust your camera so we're looking more at eye level, not at your chin? No, girl. This is my iPad thing, girl. Yeah, and I don't really think that you're at my chin. But anyway. Golden Pinata, how do you stop feeling urgency in a relationship early on? What do you mean? Like, so you just got into a relationship and you feel like you want to rush? Oftentimes this happens with so many of my clients that what happens is they feel like, oh my God, now that I'm in a relationship, we got to do all the things without realizing that there's a natural cadence to relationships and you don't have to rush anything. In a relationship, there's not really a destination. It's really just a journey. So if you're rushing towards certain milestones all of the time, you're going to create undue pressure in these relationships that will bring stress and potentially disconnection in the relationship. Girl, know what you want, right? Communicate those things. Let him make that happen. Yeah, it's one of the things I teach my clients once they get into a relationship. I have a secondary program called the Get Your Ring program. So my first dating program is called Get Your Guy. It's for my Get Your Guy Club, it's a 12-month program. For my VIP program, it's a 6 to 12-month program. And then once they get their guy, they go into my Get Your Ring program, and they end up, learning how to progress the relationships. I have a client in Northern California that's going to be moving in with her guy on this Friday, so they generally get to some of the milestones, the I love yous, the moving in, the proposals, all of that. Yeah. Rianne, of course, thank you so much for the rose. Triple Rose said, do you agree with Priscilla, the Queenmaker, about most straight men are not being capable of love? I think that most single men are not ready for a relationship. I actually think that everyone is capable of love, but it requires a level of work. This is why I'm a dating coach, especially for Black and brown women, because there are things that you will need to heal so that you will be capable of love. Unfortunately, many of these men will not do the work. Sucks for them. But everyone's capable of love, I believe. PR by Natika. Thank you so much for the 5 roses, girl. Deb said, I've been having my dates order my Uber to the date. Friends are thinking I'm doing too much. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend that. It doesn't set a great precedent. And that is, those are girlfriend benefits. And the fact that you feel like you're entitled to that, you won't attract good guys that are not trying to do too much. You will attract more narcissistic men that are open to doing grand gestures because it favors them and it makes them look good. Yeah? So I say that because it's based on your safety more than anything else. It might sound good. You might think that, oh my God, this guy really likes me, when in reality, he's doing this because it's feeding his own ego. Yeah, so something to think about as you navigate that. Fato said, been 2 days of talking. This man on Hinge said, I'm not going to leave you alone. Is it giving red flag? Yes. Si. Oui. Yeah. What other language do I need to tell you? That shit is not romantic. It's scary. Girl, screenshot that shit just in case you need the evidence, girl. Yeah? Gotta have some more. Said, hey, Amor, happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you, girl. Amaya said, hold on, I have a question. I have a crush on this white boy, not sure how to go about it. I don't know if I should walk up to him or what. Well, it depends. When you see him, and when you're in the same area, are his feet pointed toward you? If they're pointed toward you, it means that he likes you. And then I would actually go up to him. If his feet are not pointed at you when you're in the same room, leave it alone, girl. Book by Brit said, I stay talking my shit. Love you. Awesome, girl. Keep talking that shit. Elle said, what does it mean if an ex reaches out to you, then set their PFP as a love letter? I don't know. It can mean a variety of different things. But here's the thing. I don't really care what exes do. I know that your future person will never be an ex to you. So I don't even want you to give this guy life, girl. Hello, Mel. Gotta have some more. Said, how do you feel about the dating market in DC? I think DC is horrible. I think the DMV is where it's at. I would never really date directly in the DC area. Right, in the city. Girl, talk about men that feel entitled. Tiff Monet, and where is there a cutoff time for chatting on these apps? I'm always up late. Girl, don't be chatting on these apps past 10 p.m., please. Adele Cold Score said, yes, that'll work for me. Thank you. You're welcome, girl. I'll schedule you. I'll reschedule you. Janisha. Deb said, is he answering questions somewhere else? No, there's just like 350 of you and one of me, so I'm like 5 to 10 minutes delayed. Yeah, please be patient. Deb said, is he... Oh, okay, wait. Stephanie Lee said, where can I find older men in their 50s and 60s? Girl, playing pickleball? Chiropractor's office, girl? Yeah? Aaliyah said, I love your lives. Thank you, girl. S. Jones said, I've heard men have a pull-away stage. They do. Do you agree? Yes, they do. When does this usually take place? This usually takes place around the 2.5 to 3 month mark. And this is where, like, their testosterone is lowering because they are getting ready to be in a relationship with you. Okay? Freedom Queen 2.0 said, love your podcast. Thank you, girl. Ladies, the podcast is called the Get Your Guy Coaching Podcast. Check it out. Yeah? Vicky V said, you really make me believe that love is possible and there is someone out there for me if I just stay open. Please do. Please date everybody. Stop just dating black men, please. It's not going to serve you if you're a black woman. I will yell this off of the rooftops until I can't yell anymore. Yeah? Now, 2/3 of my clients will end up with black men. I'm not here saying that I don't want you to be with a black man. I'm just saying I want you to have the biggest possibility to find love. And I know that when you open your net, widen your net, you multiply your chances of finding love by 7x. PR by Natika, thank you so much for the 5 roses, girl. Rihanna, of course, thank you so much for the rosa. Gina said, I have a shy guy on my hands. Any advice? We are 3 months in. What do you mean shy guy? What does that look like? And when you say 3 months in, are you guys in an exclusive relationship or what? Let me find my place. Now, as I find my place, please know if you're interested in working with a dating coach now, definitely apply to book a consultation call with me. Not all applications will be accepted. I'm looking for people that this is a high priority for them, that they are ready to do this work this month or sooner, and that they're ready to invest in their love life. If that's not a place that you're in, I wouldn't book a call. The Lisa wishing fatherhood on you in 2024. Girl, please don't. That would be my 4th child, girl. I'm not here trying to play Brady Bunch tea, girl. Yeah? Sasha said, what if the best man on the roster is more than 10 years younger? Girl, if he's performing, if he's number 1, who are we to say no? Yeah? Cheyenne said, without giving your free advice, what do you mean by strategy example? I'm talking about what is your step-by-step guide? What is your framework to go from first conversation to first date, from first date to exclusivity? Do you have step-by-step guide? Just like you probably have framework guidelines in terms of how you do your professional career. If you don't have that same level of strategic rigor in your dating life, girl, you're giving blind leading the blind, honey. Sarah said, hello, Anwar, I love your content. Thank you. Gina said, join Bumble and the whites are loving me on there. About to start dating them. Please do. Please do. Why not? Let me see what else is going on. Gotta have some more. Is there a topic for tonight's discussion? I love all your advice. Girl, there's never a specific topic, girl, because there's so many different questions that everybody has. I just answer them randomly. Princess said, can you give us some tips on dating in Colorado, please? Yeah, girl. Go skiing. Date some white men, honey. in all seriousness, you got to be open in Colorado. Yeah. And move around the big cities. Yeah. There are people outside of the bigger cities that are quality men. Okay. Uchenwog said, where are you posting the guide for dating white men? Girl, there's not a guide, but I do have a podcast episode coming out tomorrow morning that will help you with that. So definitely take a listen to that. Okay. And Claire said, 45, want long-term relationship. Should I put in my profile that I want to try for a baby? But if we can't, that's okay too. No, girl, don't put that. Because then these men are going to read that and be like, oh, she's looking for a sperm donor. And they're like, why is she on here? She can go to the nearest sperm bank and get what she wants. Yeah? Asia said, why has ambition and success made me less desirable? I don't think it's made you less desirable. I actually think a lot of guys desire you, but they just know that they won't be able to take care of you, and that's how men find value in relationships. You're probably making more than them. So, what can he provide you? Doesn't mean that you're less desirable per se. It just means that he won't be able to make things happen for you like he wants to. But that's okay. You're for the few, not the many, right? I want all y'all to know that you are Harvard. You don't have to accept a lot of people. And that's okay. You just accept the best of the best. Don't ever feel guilty about that. Okay? Tarara said, did I miss the catfish session? No, girl. I haven't done it yet. I think I'm going to do it closer to Halloween. Rosemary said, I'm trying speed dating tomorrow. Any advice? Girl, have fun. Don't take it too seriously. Most of my clients find that they actually find really cool other women there more than they find great men there. So be open to just making connections. I'm not saying be a lesbian. I'm saying, like, sometimes there are cool girlfriends that you can meet that you could start going out with. I know a lot of my clients that are doing that. Tarara, thank you so much for the 5 roses. Kristen, thank you so much for the rose. Amber Cohen, thank you so much for the 8 roses. Shoni said, love your feedback. Thoughts on dating 5 years younger? Do it. Most of our clients are getting into relationships with men that are 3 to 6 years younger. This is a huge, huge, huge shift in dating that has happened, especially for Black women. So please, 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 date younger. Kyla said, Anwar, if he hasn't asked for a date after 2 weeks of talking, is that a no? It sure is. Let him go. Bourbon Gal, thank you so much for the fire. Rolly Ware said, first date, long distance, 3 hours. He's getting a room. I'm playing by ear. Thoughts? What are you playing by ear exactly? Madeline said, this guy texts me out of nowhere and says, hey, it's been 6 months. Then when I text back, he doesn't reply. Girl, block him. Kina says, Amar, I think you meant my name, Anwar. Is it wrong to let a guy know you're interested? I'm always of the mindset that you should create space for someone to show that they're interested in you. Yeah? Because men that are interested in you will actually show up for you more often. If you are like just trying to make it known that you like guys, it gives off like a thirsty vibe, and it is going to attract men that are going to want to use you based on knowing that you like them. Men will actually like you more if you show that you're like, you can take them or leave them. And I literally want you to take or leave these men. And most of the time you're going to leave them. Like, I always feel like dating is like poker. You gotta fold most of these hands. And if you don't have the boundaries to do that, you will not be successful in dating. Fan said, I'm about to book a session with you. Good. Good. Zaihai said, thoughts on Will and Jada. What can we learn from them? A lot. We can learn a lot. I think for Will and Jada, this is what happens when there are two narcissists in a relationship with each other. And we are, obviously, Will is one, but there are more covert and overt narcissists in the narcissism world. And so, what can we learn? We can learn that there is a yin and a yang to relationships. And if there are two yangs, it's not going to work. I don't care how pretty you are. That there has to be a great complement. The reason why it doesn't work as well as it should is because they're actually more similar than they know to be. Yeah, I think that's the biggest lesson. Lil Anyvert said, "Is a long distance guy worth pursuing?" He's from Boston. I'm from Atlanta. I don't know, girl. I don't know what kind of man he is, so I can't tell you that. Jenna Fool said, "What do you think about dating while depressed?" Don't do it, girl. It's Melanie. Okay. So nice to meet you. I haven't dated in over a year. I almost feel too independent to be in a relationship. Being independent obviously isn't a bad thing. It is when you're hyper independent, because that's a trauma response based on the fact that you were not able to rely on anyone, and so you had to just rely on yourself. Lola said, was it right to break it off with a guy because he didn't text me for a week? Well, it depends on why he didn't text you for a week. If it was because he was doing other things, or maybe he had an emergency with his family, don't know, but I would say 90% sure you probably did the right thing. Hello, Marion said, hi, coach. Can you name 3 good questions to ask on a first date? No, I don't really do that. My whole thing is, whatever kind of conversation that you have with your best friend that week, those are the sorts of subjects that I want you to talk about. I don't want the conversations to just be a question and answer. That's an interview. I want it to be about stories you tell or subjects that you talk about and figuring out what your stance is on it. So, I know that I would be talking to my best friend about this new Britney Spears book that's coming out. So if I were dating right now, I would say, hey, did you hear about this new Britney Spears book is coming out? Apparently, her and Justin had an abortion. That's crazy to me. Right? And start talking about that. See what his stance is. What do you think about that? If he doesn't know, then I explain it, and vice versa. That's much more interesting than, how many siblings do you have? Where did you grow up? Do you like your job? Girl, that shit is robotic. Fan said, where's the podcast? It's everywhere. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple. I think the podcast is a top 50 or top 75 relationship podcast in the US, which is great because I only publish every 2 weeks instead of every week. Kilo said, can a hetero girl take a bi-curious guy seriously? Every woman will have their own comfort level when it comes to that. Yeah. Dark and Stormy said, guy asked for my typical evening schedule. I gave it. He routinely sends, it says eyes after the hours. I told him, asking to see my pretty face. I'm over it. Girl, let him go. Let him go. He's doing too much. Ariel said, yeah, these white boys be checking for us. They really do. White guys are shy. They're actually not as shy as you think. They just don't think that y'all are checking for them, so they don't approach you as much as they should. You just have to give them mad green flags, green lights, and green flags. Yeah. Let me try to find my place, honey. Already lost in the sauce. Lovely Beauty said, moving to Houston in 1 year, already like a guy there, been on dates. Is it okay for me to wait for a move to commit? Yeah, please do. I am free said, what if I'm not attracted to the whites that shoot their shot on online dating? Should I still entertain? If the guy is a 5 or above, yes, girl, entertain. Just a girl watching TikTok said, I'm listening, went on a date with a white gentleman on Saturday. Date lasted 10 hours, but I don't know. Girl, why are you slumber partying these dates? A first date should be like an hour and a half at most. Other dates should be 2 to 3 hours. 10 hours is way too much. That's a boundary violation, girl. Yeah? Cheyenne said, thank you. Definitely have one in professional life, then not dating. Okay. Tarara said, a dating strategy sounds so empowering and less emotional. Dating is not personal and it's not emotional. At least it should not be. Not when you are finding a guy. There's two parts of dating. There's the finding the guy, and then there's getting to know the guy. The getting to know the guy is the romantic part. The finding the guy is not. And most of you all are in the finding guy stage. Koya said, what about black women with Asian men? What about them, girl? What about them? Go ahead and get your life. Rachel's board said, your videos make me feel like there is hope. There is. There is. When you know how to date, when you have a strategy, when you're doing the healing work in tandem, in parallel with dating, there's nothing stopping you. D-Nice said, we are exclusive and he doesn't have much experience with relationships. I'm the one who had to lead. Girl, if you're leading now, you're going to lead the entire relationship, and that shit is going to get so exhausting. So I want to offer that to you. You're going to have to give him space for him to actually step up. Cassandra said, you definitely need to do a journal. Thank you. Twiggy Smalls, love the name. Said, I thought you liked Hinge. Girl, I liked it during the pandemic. Now it is Boo Boo the Fool. Hinge just hurts people's feelings, especially if you're a woman of color. I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. That's not fun. Janet Full said, I'm not into hookups. Would it be okay to put that in my bio on the apps? You can if you want to, but here's the thing. You saying I don't like hookups is actually going to, like, obviously it will, the guys that are into hookups actually don't care if you put that in your profile or not. The guys that are doing this for a challenge, for a competition, will think of you more as a challenge and go harder for you just to sleep with you. I wouldn't talk about sex. I wouldn't talk about hookups or anything like that. I would just talk about how you want to make connections and more about yourself on these profiles. Yeah? Trying to think. Natural Roots said, how soon is too soon for a guy to say he loves you? In my experience, I've been a dating coach for 13 years. Normally it's been around the 4 to 9 month mark, just depending on the interactions between the couple. Let me see what y'all are talking about. Jennifer said, thank you for always being so gracious and kind with your audience. I try my best, girl. I think it's really important that I try to be as heart-led as possible. Yes, we like to kiki and have fun, but so many people out there try to shame women, specifically black women, around dating and love and relationships, and most of the time it's not your fault. Most of the time it's these bustas or certain programming or conditioning that you have as you grow up. And so my job as a dating coach is often really to help you deprogram and reprogram and oftentimes reparent yourself. Yeah. Melanie said your advice rules. Thank you. You're so welcome. Thank you. How much are your sessions? I don't do individual sessions. I do like 6-12 month programs because my programs are really about true, authentic transformation, right? That by the end of the program, you will be a completely different woman. And it's not just in your romantic life, it's about in all of your relationships because how you do one thing is how you do everything. Yeah? Dichi said, I have 2 friends who got physical on the first date and are now in relationship. Is courting dead now? No, not at all. There are relationships that start that way, and that's cool too. When I lived in Italy, part of the culture was everybody needed to sleep with everybody pretty quickly to see if there's chemistry there because that was such a high priority in that culture. And that is starting to kind of permeate American dating culture as well. So I'm not surprised. Miss Monroe said, what about a man you're with thinks you shouldn't twerk or dance solo to a DJ or band at my age, which is 51? Girl, if he can't handle the twerk, he doesn't deserve you, girl. You get to do whatever you want. Especially at 51, and he's trying to control you and put you in a box. Nobody puts baby in a box, and nobody puts baby in a corner. Melanie said, I'm definitely interested in a program then. Is there a link or something where I can sign up? Yeah, go to the link in my bio and click on apply to book a consultation. And then we'll have a consultation and see if it's a fit or not. Okay. L Dubs said, is it better to share some past relationship details or is it better to keep it to yourself? Oh, and by the way, thank you so much for the 21,000 likes. If there's anything that I've said that has resonated with you, definitely tap, double tap, triple tap the screen. Yeah? It's better to keep it to yourself. I think that you should talk more about past relationships at the, third date mark in a bit more details. Everything else should be very broad. Okay? Just Siobhan, thank you so much for the 14 roses. Lovely said, your voice is so soothing to me. Thank you, girl. Sean Johnson said, what advice can you give a recently divorced mom looking to get back in the dating scene? I would just say, just start an online profile. You don't even have to talk to men. Oftentimes when you get a divorce, you think that you're a failure, that something's wrong with you. And nothing is wrong with you. So you need the physical evidence of just knowing that other men are checking for you. Put a profile up, put some pictures up, and just watch the messages come in. And I'm not a fan of this app, but I know that you'll get a shit ton of life from it. So I always tell people, women that maybe have lower confidence, whether you're divorced, maybe you're curvier, get on Plenty of Fish for a month. Just to remind yourself that you got it. And then after you have that and your confidence is higher, then let's get on some of these other apps. Bo Delicious, thank you so much for the 4 roses. Bourbon Gal, thank you so much for the 6 roses. Bodacious, thank you so much for the rose. Kanisha, thank you so much for the 3 roses. Amaya said, advice, I get girlfriend treatment without the title. He says he's not ready. How long have you been with him, Amaya? Kiana says, I love the way you speak. Thank you. Got it straight from my Valley girlfriends. Uh-oh. Aquarian Sleek said, not the Yang Yang twins. But she said, 100% facts. Preach, coach. Thank you. Vivian Williams said, is it okay to approach a guy you find attractive? I think that it's really great. You can if you want to. I'm never going to be here to say you can't do something. You're a grown-ass woman. What I do want you to know is that you want to make sure that he's into you. You want to make sure, because a man that's not into you will just use you. Again, this is a power dynamic situation. And many, if not most of these men, if you are approaching a guy, will know that he has you. And you literally just become his like emotional slave. Kombucha Shadi said, you're eating us up tonight. Am I? Girl, this is one of the chill nights, girl. I believe. Bourbon Gal, thank you so much for the heart me. Rena said, do you recommend waiting to sleep with him? I do, just because I don't want you to get digmatized. And that happens so often. And it's not a cute look. As someone who's been there and as someone who's seen so many women fall into that trap. Like, you will chemically bond to a man if he gives you the O. Bourbon Gal, thank you so much for the 2 roses. Let me see. Well, I don't know why people are saying I was lagging a bit. Sorry about that, ladies. Don't know what to tell you. Let me find my place. While I am finding my place, definitely book a consultation call with me if you want to work with a dating coach. I am here to help y'all level up, honey. Get your guy. So many women getting their guy in my program, it's like kind of scary. And women that are moving in with their guys. My next wedding will be in February. I have a client in New Orleans that is getting married and who has invited me to her wedding. I generally go to one wedding every quarter. So I'm really excited to help her and just see this. She had come to me, I want to say like a year ago. I'm trying to think if it was 2021 or 2022. She had 2 kids, single mom, engineer, had been in a narcissistic relationship with some military guy. Confidence was low, 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 low. Low, 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 low. And couldn't speak up, had no boundaries, didn't know how to express herself, her desires, her emotions. Had a lot of inner child wounds that she needed to heal, didn't know what she wanted. And we had to do all of that work and more. We had to up-level that confidence, work on her mindset. We had to make sure that she was taking a stance, that she was speaking in, like, on dates. Many of you all, like, keep it cute and mute. If you're a smart girl who's not going to be a trophy wife, it's going to be actually really important for you to have a 50-50 conversation with these guys on dates. Because Lord knows you're not going to shut up when you're in a relationship. I know I wouldn't. I got shit to say. I got an opinion. I got thoughts. I have solutions. I think. And if you're that girl too, please understand that you're going to have to start saying things. He can't be dominating the conversation and talk 80-90% of the time. That's not going to work. Okay, Aquarius to Dawn said, I'm late. Did we colonize on Columbus Day? I feel like a good portion of us did, so I just want to congratulate all of you all that did your colonizing. I hope that you learned something from this experience, which is that most of these white men want you, love you, and you can have them at any point that you want to. So many black women will pedestalize these white men, and girl, take your seat on your throne. These white men, just like these black men, just like these other men, are your knights, and they will do for you. Okay? Rosie said, I spoke to colonizers but didn't get a date. It's still a win. Still a win. Kai said, I had a 5-hour first date last week. Girl, stop slumber partying, girl. Kiana said, why is 10 hours too much? I think so, but I want to hear why you say so. Because the first date is really about understanding, do I want to learn more? Did I laugh and have fun? Yeah? These are boundary issues. He doesn't get to have access to you like that. It's too much. When you slumber party, you're giving too much. You're in charge of pacing the courtship in all of your relationships. And if you don't know how to do that, what will happen is you will create a dating pattern that I call a flame out. Have you ever gotten along well with a guy and then after a week or two, you feel like, oh my God, we don't have anything to talk about? That's the flame out dating pattern. And if you go hard and have a 10-hour date, just understand this. You could have one 10-hour date or you could have 5 2-hour dates. What would you prefer? Yeah? Sweetie ZZ, who, by the way, helped to start the colonizing challenge, so I hope you colonize, girl. She said, love you, Anwar. A guy I'm seeing just told me how much he appreciates me sharing my feelings and thoughts with him. Girl, it is like when you share your feelings with a man who actually has the emotional capacity to hold space for you, it is like candy. It is like dessert for them, girl. Give them this dessert, honey. It's like a little boy in a candy shop, girl. They love it. Osobuco. If a guy I met on a Friendsgiving last year randomly texts me to grab food, is this a date or a hangout? Well, it should be neither. Should be neither. Oh my God, Sweetie Zizi said, I colonize. He's the Russian engineer. Yes. My client is moving in with a Russian engineer on Friday. Girl, the Russian engineers are where it's at. JJ said, do you have a YouTube channel? I do, but I don't really. I just like repurpose my TikToks on there. So I think I only have almost 1,000 subscribers versus the almost 250,000 that I have on TikTok and IG. Let me see what's going on. Trying to find what's going on. G, thank you so much for the rose. Dina said, how would I give him space to lead? Do nothing. Let him handle it all. Let him initiate communication. Let him plan dates. Let him do all of that. Tiffany and Jeanette said, 51 and being told not to twerk is wild. It sure is. It sure is. Butterfly says, does pretty privilege protect black women from misogynoir? No, it does not. At least not in my experience. That still happens. And actually, it can be much more pointed because these men will try to humble you because if you are quote unquote pretty or have pretty privilege, because that holds a level of power, and often a level of power over men. If you are quote unquote traditionally pretty, you can have men do whatever you want. You can fully control them. And men know this. So they actually have more incentive to try to humble you and to try to control you so that you're not doing that. Aaliyah said, is the podcast on YouTube? My earlier episodes are, but no, girl, just go to my Apple podcast or Spotify. Mickey said, how do you feel about arcade dates? Love that. Theme park dates? I would do a theme park date when y'all are in an exclusive relationship, because those long ass days and that hot ass sun, girl, make you want to slit your mama. Something wicked, girl. Waiting those long ass lines, girl. You don't like anybody on that day. Not even Mickey Mouse. Amber Cohen, thank you so much for the rose and the 3 roses. Aaliyah, thank you so much for the pumpkin spice latte. Bourbon Gal, thank you so much for the rosa. Or the 4 roses. Ava said, are men gathered in other live streams learning how to get better because they are the problem? Many of them are, girl. No shade. Shade. Sean Johnson, thank you so much for the 20 roses. Ambi, thank you so much for the rose. Girl, let me find my place. Okay, I think I got it. Juniper said, German men a red flag? No, girl. I'll tell you one thing, girl. There were moments where, when I was with my German men, plural, I was waving that white flag, if you know what I mean, honey. I don't think Germans are a red flag, especially for black women. Gotta have some more. Thank you so much for the rose. So I love hearing success stories. Yeah. Honey, the ladies are doing the damn thing. I'm so happy for them. Yolanda said, still colonizing. Girl, it never stops. It hasn't stopped for them, so it won't stop for us. This is our getting our lick back. Literally. Let's see what's going on here. Janice said, what do I think of Polish men? I don't really have an opinion on them. Many of them, maybe, I don't really know a lot of them in Poland, and I don't really have a lot of experience with them in the States, so it's hard for me to tell. The thing about, y'all are gagging on the Russian engineers. The thing about Russians is that they go pretty fast. They know what they want. You'll be moving in like at 9 months. You'll be married at 18 months. It's kind of a cultural thing. Uh-oh. Hold on, let me find my where I was. Lost my place, girl. Lost my way. Okay. while I'm looking for my way, um, definitely, if you want to do this work like more individually, definitely book a call and we'll see if we can help you get into the best relationship of your life and actually date with a strategy and only talk to the and go out on dates with high quality men. Oops. Kaymon said, do you have your clients heal first for a period before dating or heal while dating? Always heal while dating. It will help to accelerate your healing process because dating will bring up all your shit and then it gives you the opportunity to heal and to learn from while you're dating. So it's so much better. Maya said, will you ever start matchmaking? No, not my thing. There's a healing component that is really important for black and brown women. So I would never matchmake because matchmaking is, it doesn't take that into consideration. And no shade, many of us think that we're ready for an amazing relationship, but we might not be. Yeah. Here's what I know. If you're getting triggered every other conversation that you're having with a man, you're not ready to be in a relationship because being in a relationship actually will hit your triggers even harder. Weekends with Drea said, any advice for not being attracted to a guy who's ready to commit and provide? On a scale from 0 to 10, is he a 5 or more? If so, let's engage. If your attraction for him has not increased since knowing him to where you are now, you have to let him go. Jen Twirly say, Anwar, is there a certain type of guy that is unlikely to cheat, or am I reaching? Girl, you're reaching. You're reaching. Unfortunately. I wish. The latest statistic that I saw is that most men, they said that anywhere from 20 to 30% of each racial group of men cheat. If I think it's double that, but that's just me. So I think it was like 28% of black men, like 23% of Hispanic men, and like 20% of white men. Let me see what y'all are talking about. The Dr. Lady Devil Dog. I'm moving to Japan. Any word on my Japanese bruvs? I'm open from Yakuza to Sony. Girl, go somewhere. It's too much. You don't want no Yakuza, girl. You don't want that. Get found up, chopped up somewhere, girl. They don't play. What do I know about Japanese men? I actually know that they're, in general, not as welcoming to foreigners that you may think. They're nice, they're civil, right, in public, but actually having an intimate relationship with a Japanese man from Japan is much harder than you may think. They will be fascinated by you and your culture, but they may not actually be taking you as seriously as you may think like in other countries. Okay? So something to think about as you continue to navigate that. Now, you might engage with people on the military bases. Not ideal, but that should be a part of your dating process as well. Yeah? Let me see. Kiana said, would you take a 24, 25-year-old into your program if they are serious? Probably in my Get Your Guy club, but probably not in the VIP. But definitely book a call and see if it's a good fit or not. Yeah, I'm not here. If you feel like you're ready, great, let's talk. But we'll determine that on the consultation call. Cia says, what does it mean when you match and you start the conversation and he doesn't respond? It means he's not into it or he's not on the app, girl. No shade. Art Hub, the collective, said, why is it so hard to find guys that want to actually take you out on a date and not just chill? Because most of these men are not relationship ready. And our job when we're dating is to have a strategy to be able to filter those guys out so we can just focus on the guys that are actually ready for a relationship, at which point we can make the determination of whether they're going to be a match for us or not. Most of these guys that are single are not ready. 97% of guys that you meet will never get to a third date. But girl, you're gonna have to have 100 conversations to find your person. Historically speaking, and I literally track it with my clients. Each of my clients has a dating tracker where they label each guy that they've had phone dates with, physical dates with, and we document each and every date, right? So I wanna let you know that's what it requires. So if you find yourself on an app for 2 weeks and then you peace out, or you had 10, 15, 20 conversations, that's not gonna work, girl. User 644, and where are you married? I am married with 3 children, honey. Suburban mother realness. And Nia Morris said, generally, what's a good pace for dates at the beginning? I would say once a week. Good. What Say A says, that sounds exhausting, 97 bad conversations. You can think about it that way, or most people think of it as a waste of time because they're not learning from those interactions. One of the value adds that I believe that my program and my coaching does is we're able to glean insights from each and every interaction with a man, which ultimately allows us to level up each and every week, right? But if you are just like going through the motions and trying to get through these guys, yeah, that's not going to work and you're not going to get a lot out of it. Yeah? So something to think about and consider. Let's see what's going on here. Good. Good. All right. So I'm going to go because I need my beauty sleep and these kids are going to wake me up in like 6 hours. Jishian, thank you so much for the 3 balloons. Appreciate it. If you all want to work with me, definitely book a call with me. Otherwise, check out my podcast and subscribe to it because tomorrow I think I'm publishing a new one, which is going to be fun and exciting and a total gag and a hoot. Yeah? So definitely check that out. And I also have a link for some free trainings in my in the link in my bio. So check that out. Falana said, love the podcast. Thank you, girl. Appreciate it. And TikTok, thank you so much for the 33,000 likes. I appreciate it. And the almost 400 people that are here. Keep on going. Keep on doing your thing. And I will hit you on the flip side. Alrighty? And thank you so much, IG. Love you, girls. Be well. Bye now.